All right, let's talk about something that can give any land surveyor a serious headache. It's that moment that can stop a project dead in its tracks. We're talking about what you do when your absolute go-to processing tool, OPUS, is down.
So you know the drill. You've had a long day out in the field, you've collected all your static data, and you're finally back in the office, ready to process, and nothing. The service is totally unavailable. But here's the thing, that project clock, it's still ticking. So what's the plan? Just sit there and hope it comes back online? Nope. You need a playbook.
Okay, so let's just quickly set the scene. For pretty much every surveyor out there, OPUS is an absolute lifeline. I mean, it's this free, incredibly powerful web service from the National Geodetic Survey. You just upload your raw GNSS data, and bam, it gives you a super precise position, all processed against their network of core stations. It's fast, it's easy, and it's reliable.
But what happens when that lifeline snaps? You know, when the one service you count on for your day-to-day workflow just isn't there. And believe me, this is way more than just a little inconvenience. It can have some pretty serious knock-on effects for your projects.
And look, this isn't just some what-if scenario. It's actually happened. Back during the U.S. federal government shutdown in 2013, this is exactly what went down. OPUS went completely offline, and surveyors everywhere were left scrambling. It's a pretty stark reminder that relying on a single point of failure is, well, a risky game.
The stakes here are really high. If you can't process your data, work grinds to a halt. And that means delays, it means unhappy clients, and it could mean blown deadlines. So here's the bottom line. Every single surveyor needs a solid plan B. Let's build one right now. Okay, this is where we open up the playbook. And the good news, the really good news, is that there are a ton of powerful and reliable alternatives to OPUS out there. You are not out of luck. You just got to know where to look. So let's break down what your options really look like. First up, you've got other online services, kind of like OPUS's cousins. Think Canada's CSRSPP or Australia's OPUS. They're web-based, no software needed. Then, for way more hands-on control, you've got your commercial software, like Trimble Business Center, right on your desktop. If you're a bit of a tech head, there are amazing open-source tools like RTKLIB that are free and incredibly powerful. And of course, for complete and total independence, you can always just set up your own base station.
All right, so we've got options, that's clear. But for any surveyor, there's one question that trumps all the others. Are they accurate enough? I mean, really, can you trust these alternatives to hit that centimeter or even millimeter level precision that you absolutely have to have? Well, let's take a look at the data.
Just look at this number for a second. 8.3 millimeters. That's tiny. It's less than a third of an inch. Now, what does a number like that mean in the world of high-precision surveying? Well, it means confidence. It means you've got verifiable, repeatable precision you can count on.
And here's the payoff. That 8.3 millimeters, that's the mean horizontal accuracy that Canada's online service, CSRSPP, achieved in a major head-to-head study. I mean, that's not just good enough, that is absolutely exceptional. It proves without a doubt that high-quality alternatives are out there, and they really work.
And you can see it right here in these charts from that study. The one on the left shows horizontal accuracy, and the one on the right is vertical. Just look at how OPUS, AUSPS, and CSRS-PPP are all clustered right there at the bottom. That means their errors are incredibly small. The takeaway couldn't be clearer. These top-tier services aren't just backups. They are legit, high-precision tools that you can use anytime. So, we've got the tools, and we know they're accurate. Now, let's turn all this knowledge into an actual, actionable strategy. Here are 4 simple rules for building a workflow that is tough enough to handle any outage. Rule number 1, diversify your tools. Simple as that. Don't put all your eggs in the OPUS basket. Get yourself and your team comfortable with at least one other online service. Rule number 2, and honestly I can't say this enough, always log your raw GNSS data. Even if you're out there working in RTK, that little raw data file is your ultimate insurance policy. Third, know your datums. Other services might spit out coordinates in a global frame like ITRF, so you have to know how to properly transform them into your local project datum, like NAD83. And finally, number 4, verify, verify, verify. Whenever you use a backup method, just spend a little extra time on QC, check it against a known point, and really dig into that solution report.
So here's what it all boils down to. An OPUS outage does not have to mean a project shutdown. Not anymore.
By knowing your alternatives, trusting their accuracy, and building these best practices into your routine, you can create a workflow that's tough, robust, and resilient. Your toolkit is officially bigger and way more powerful than you thought. So the only real question left is, how are you going to use it?